Hello and welcome to Megawatt News, the Tech Week in View, where we give you a rundown of the biggest stories of the week and what we thought of them. Stay tuned. In a case that's been splashed all over the headlines, Dell has been found guilty of fraud, false advertising, deceptive business practices and abusive debt collection practices. If you do a search on Google for Dell plus lawsuits, then an awful lot of results come up. If you do a search for just lawsuits on Pocket Lints, then again, hundreds of results come up. Companies like Dell are involved in lawsuits the whole time. Microsoft, for example, is currently appealing a massive EU fine, and Nintendo is doing exactly the same. So here's the point. These companies are huge, but they've got caught out by, in this case, EU or US authorities. They will get slapped with a massive fine. Dell is just waiting to hear how much it's going to have to fork out for this whole shenanigan. But will it actually stop Dell doing these sorts of things in the future? And also, will it actually stop people buying Dell computers in protest at what's going on? A heated row has kicked off between the US of A and European authorities over import tariffs. So the thing about this story is that it's going to get immensely complicated and it's already getting very petty. It's basically about the classification of products. And as we frequently do stories on, products are getting more and more complicated. They're able to do more and more different functions. So if this isn't resolved soon, it's something that's going to drag on for a very long time. Take set-top boxes, for example. The EU and the US originally agreed that they should be exempt from tariffs, but now the EU is actually arguing that set-top boxes that have recording facilities should not be exempt from the tariffs. And the US is saying, well, yes, they should. Manufacturers are going to have to get involved. Lots of lawyers are going to get involved, and I can just see this dragging on for a very, very long time because essentially it's about billions and billions and billions of pounds of tariffs which manufacturers and the US don't want to pay. Scientists have discovered that men regress to their cavemen instincts when playing computer games. Apparently playing activates the area of the brain linked with the desire to conquer. This, they believe, is why men are more likely to become obsessed with their computer consoles than women. So the thing about this research is, tell me something I don't know. Yes, of course, games bring out the Neanderthal in men, so do a lot of sports. It just brings out your competitiveness. But the question of whether females are less competitive and therefore less likely to get into games, I'd say that that's something that's changing, and I say that games makers have clicked onto the fact that women like games just as much as men. This morning it announced it will stop selling CD singles this summer. Then, just hours later, high street retailer Woolworths decided to go digital. So does this story mean the death of CD sales in the UK or in fact worldwide? Well, I think not. Woolworths actually sells 1 in every 3 CDs in this country, and they say that sales are still incredibly healthy. But there was a story to counter this. Just a couple of weeks ago, we had a story on Pocket Lints whereby iTunes has now overtaken Walmart as the biggest music seller in the United States. Now, we know iTunes is huge and we know that music downloads are getting increasingly popular, but people still like going to the high street and they still like buying CDs. That was our roundup of the biggest stories this week and our personal spin on them. Join us again on Monday for our usual daily news show, and in the meantime, have a lovely weekend. Thanks for watching.